Roughly 50% of entrepreneurs say getting laid off is what pushed them to start their business. Can you relate? For a lot of people, including today's guest, Bronwyn Birk, disruption isn't the end, it's the beginning. I'm Cristina Dennstedt, and in today's episode of Conejo Valley Visionaries, I'm sitting down with Maria Galloway and Bronwyn Birk, two of the co-founders of Viridian Art in Agoura Hills and Woodland Hills. A serendipitous meeting at a previous job formed their partnership, and a fortuitous firing led the creative pair to strike out on their own. We talk about returning to your true calling, building a creative business from the ground up, teaching kids that mistakes matter, and why believing in yourself is sometimes the hardest and most essential skill of all. This is the story of Viridian Art and why sometimes the pivot is the point. If you enjoy this episode and find value in the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and rating. This helps more people find the podcast, and therefore each story can reach more folks in the Conejo Valley. Hi, Bronwyn. Hi, Maria. Thank you for being on Conejo Valley Visionaries.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Of course. And I see you are in your beautiful studio, Viridian Art. Are you in Agoura or in your other location?
We are in Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills. Okay, great. So we'll get into it, but thank you for being here, and thank you for letting us record from your studio. We mentioned might be some background noise because you actually have a class starting soon.
Yes.
So this is real life. This is business.
It's a noisy spot we're in.
Right. We're making it work. So thank you for doing that. Okay. Well, as we like to do on this podcast is start, where did you grow up and what did you want to be when you grew up?
Me? All right. I grew up right here in the Valley. And I actually wanted to be a marine biologist. So that was my dream forever. And I always did art, but marine biology was what I wanted to do. And I went to college, took one bio class along with art classes. And I was like, no, thank you. I just want to do art.
Dream ender.
Yeah. Yes. That ended right there.
Yes. Okay.
I also grew up right around here in the Valley. My parents live like 10 minutes away from here. So we're both Valley girls. So my very first job that I can remember my family saying I wanted to be was a cat feeder. Because I was obsessed with cats when I was a child. I know that's weird. When I went to college, I actually thought I was going to be doing like maybe 3D animation. I actually started in computer science and art, which is weird because I'm not a computer person, just to make my parents happy. But I don't know. I always say that like teaching art, I didn't necessarily choose it, but it chose me, and I wouldn't change a thing because I love it and I can't imagine myself doing anything else.
Incredible. So it sounds like both of you, even though you had a kind of differing ideas at the beginning, had art as like at the core.
Since I was a child, always.
Were your parents artists? Were you just exposed to art? Tell me about where the art was.
Not even a little bit. My family is like engineers and accountants, and I am the weirdo. Nobody knows where I came from.
Nobody. I mean, me and my brother are both artists, and so neither of our parents.
Yeah, it took my parents a long time to even like realize that this is a real thing that people can do with their lives. I think they still for a long time waited, like, when are you going to do a real job?
So, but okay, do you have a memory of when the love of art first started? Was there a class? Was it school? Just generally, obviously, it's interesting. I have young kids. Like, I do think as a kid, you are just exposed to art naturally. That is just part of what happens, but people lose that passion. But was there a moment in which it really stuck with you?
I think for me, I mean, I just always wanted to draw everything. And I'm sure.
Yeah, me too.
Like, It wasn't even like one specific thing. It was like, I would take classes and I'd be like, I need more, and just needing more than what the community center classes that I took offered, or like parks and rec classes. Yeah. So, it was, and we see it with kids and students here for sure. Those kids that just draw all the time. That's all they want to do. Yeah. It's really a thing.
In my family, I was like a later in life oops baby. So all my sisters were teenagers when I was born. So I got just dragged around to a lot of places and had to entertain myself. So I just had this little blue bag that had paper and all of my art materials in it. And everywhere that we went, I would just bring that with me. And I was just drawing the whole time. That's just kind of where it started. And then started taking more serious classes. And the rest is, history from there.
Okay. So Did you end up pursuing 3D animation, Bronwyn, in college, or is it?
I took a couple classes, but I wasn't
Okay.
actually very good at it, and I didn't love it. I mean, I was always doing art, so I was even while I was doing that, I was always painting and drawing and doing all the other things. So that was always there, no matter what. I was just trying to figure out how I could make like a real career out of art. You know what I mean? But here we are. Like we've been in business for this summer. It's going to be 15 years. So this is a real career in art, and it really is like I don't know. It's super cool and inspiring for all of our students to get to see us doing what we love, and that's a possibility for them too.
Passing it down, sure. And what about you, Maria? What kind of art were you studying in college?
Studio art and then child development. And so, yeah, I thought I was going to be a teacher, like once I started teaching. And
yeah, I did not. My mom was a teacher, and she was always like, "You should be a teacher." I'm like, "I'm not gonna be a teacher." But like I said, it just things find you, and then it's yeah.
Yes, we like pushed back, and then here we are. So,
Yeah.
what was the process? Did you all know each other growing up?
no.
No. The funny thing is the place where we met at another art studio. And that's actually the place that I took art classes as a kid. That's where I learned to oil paint. I took classes there for like the ages like 10 to 15. And then I stopped, went to college, did art there. And then that was my first job out of college, like literally 21, fresh out the gates. And Maria had already been working there for several years. And I was her assistant at the studio in Encino that we worked at. And then I don't know.
She got fired.
I guess. Tell us more about this.
And I was really upset about it.
Yeah.
I was
Also, I would like to say I was not fired for doing a bad job. There is that was more of the company's problem than my problem. But
I was like, no, you're not firing her. So I was like, screw them. We're going to start our own.
Well, and I ended up after I got fired, which is again is funny. That's a whole nother story. We don't need to get into that. But I promise I didn't do anything bad. I really promise I did. But I ended up teaching at an elementary school, teaching art to the entire elementary school of 800 kids every week. I was taught there for like 7 years, and halfway through the process, I think it was like 3 years in, Maria calls me one day, and she was like, "I don't want to work here anymore. I think we can do better. Like, I think, like I want to start my own place. I want you to do it with me." And I was,
because we were a great team. And then like all of a sudden, like she was not there anymore.
Hard shoes to fill.
Yeah. So and then we in 2011
did it. It was crazy.
Did it. Like we slowly were like buying things and storing them in my garage and looking for spaces.
Yes, I remember because I was still teaching at that elementary school for several years after we started, and I remember driving around on my lunch break, just like driving up and down Ventura Boulevard, looking for spaces. Like spaces for lease, just being like, how are we going to do this, and going to thrift shops and buying little props for kids to draw, and like I don't know, just.
Yeah. Right, the passion was like superseding your regular day job.
Yeah. And we literally started in a warehouse, just like one room warehouse. So it's very bare bones.
I'm just curious because you mentioned you were at this previous art studio and you knew you could do better. What was it about? What did you know you could do better? What did you see as like the vision for the business?
So it was an amazing art studio. I never want to put down any other art studios because I think that there's something for everybody. Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. And I think they had really, really amazing instruction. Like they taught me to draw like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like great realism, great. Like they did a lot of impressionist stuff. It was an amazing program. But I think it was super rigid, super strict. There wasn't a lot of room for fun or experimentation. And so I think.
And so for a lot of kids, like it was just. I don't know. It wasn't, it didn't fit everybody's demographic of like kids wanting to enjoy coming and like having fun. And
there's a lot of art studios too, which also do much more like freeform art, like more like play around, process art, experimentation, creative stuff. So we wanted to still have like a very skill-based program where we're like, hey, you're going to learn how to draw. Like you are going to learn how to paint. Like we have amazing, like we have students now where I'm like, wow, you're like better than I am now. It's crazy. But they also get to like throw their personality into it. And I think that's like having the line between both, I think is really where we want it to be.
Yeah. And not, I think also being a small business and not having this corporation guiding all the rules, that was really hard to be an art, especially for artists. That's really hard.
Yeah, which is probably part of why I got fired, honestly, because it was like this very corporate thing, and I don't know, we're a little more free spirits.
I feel like we need to know more about this story.
I I mean, we can tell it if you want. It's not that exciting, but yeah.
But I can see that, yes, like as a creative to be sort of kind of handcuffed, if you will, by corporate guidelines would probably be challenging. So to be able to start on your own and create something that you see as more explorative and but still giving people the reason or the why behind it is pretty awesome. So you start in a warehouse, you find a space. You're still working as a elementary school art teacher, Bronwyn.
Yeah.
And Maria, were you still working at the other art studio? And
No.
Okay.
I was running the show.
I was like, I don't have a lot of time to do this right now, right? Because I was like, I still have to pay my bills in the course of like trying to make this work, right? So it was a lot. Her like really getting the ground starting, So,
but and then eventually she
ended up being at a school too.
I ended up teaching at a school that I'm still at currently.
Yeah. Not as many hours. Mine was like a very full time.
A few hours.
Yeah.
But yes, and then she eventually, when we were able to, she left that job. So
it was time. It was a lot doing both. It was a lot. I was very tired.
Imagine. And so was your Woodland, okay, so tell me, is the space that you're in now your original space, or did you start somewhere else?
This is like our 5th space or something.
So
yeah,
we started in Tarzana.
We were in Tarzana for like 12 years. I mean, our length of time was mostly Tarzana.
And then
we opened our second. Well, we had a second one that was bigger and nicer, and then
we got a third partner in
2018.
Yeah,
she's actually the person who started our little kids program because we were only doing like bigger kids and teens and adults. So she came in and she was like, let's bring in the little ones. So she started that. And then we opened the Agoura studio. So we wouldn't have been able to do 2 studios with just 2 of us.
Yeah.
So having her made it so that we could kind of like go back and forth.
So and Agoura, like we thought we were going to end up in Calabasas.
Yes.
And it was just, I think, all the cards laid out perfectly for us to end up in Agoura in Conejo Valley. And that was just...
Yeah, we love our space there. That's the only Agoura space we've had. This is our 4th space we had 3 spaces in Tarzana, 1 in Woodland Hills, no more Tarzana, but the Agoura space we love. So we've just stayed there. So that was 2018 we opened the Agoura studio.
Got it. So tell me, how would you describe Viridian Art?
I mean,
again, the very skill-based.
Like we are a skill-based art studio.
Yeah.
So.
I always describe it as like real art education. Like we really are trying to teach kids like how to draw what they see, how to like give them kind of like a guideline of how to approach something you're looking at and how to bring it into reality. Because a lot of times it's like when you're looking at something, people don't know where to start. Right? You see something that looks hard. Like, how do you break it down to something that makes it easy?
We thrive on community. Like, we just love our community, our schools. We're so tied in with a bunch of our community partners in schools.
Actually, fun fact, 2 of our instructors who we love dearly used to be students of ours, which is really, really cool. We didn't even have to train them because they already knew what to do.
They just came back and they're like, "Are you hiring?" We're like, "Yes, get in here."
We don't even have any hours for you, but please come.
So, and do you only, is it for kids only or also still adults as well?
Also adults.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have as many adults as kids because I think adults get busy with their own lives and with their kids. Do you know what I mean? I think we have a lot of people who maybe before they have kids or people where their kids are now out of the house and now maybe they're retired and now they want to, do something they never did before.
So other adults that like this is their time. Like they block out their time to come and have like their mental break from everything else in their life. So yeah.
And it sounds like there's classes, but also camps. Can you explain a little bit about how you've structured it and like what are the ways people can engage with Viridian?
Yes. So we have ongoing classes for age 3.5 all the way to like our oldest students
93 and a half.
Yeah,
80 something. Yeah.
And we have like 2 little kids classes just broken up by ages. And then we have our studio classes that start at age 8 and up. And that's like 8 through 14. And then we have our teen class and then we have teen adult classes as well. So we have all of that. We have camps
Yeah, summer camp, winter camp. If the kids are off of school, we are working extra, right? And then all of our on-campus programming.
Yes. So we're at a lot of local schools that we teach after-school enrichment at.
We also have a couple teachers, including Maria. We also have 2 other instructors who are the actual like art teacher during the school day.
Yeah, providing art curriculum to the
through
school.
us.
And
We do birthday parties and wine and peach events. So many birthday parties. Oh my gosh, it's wild. Our weekends, sometimes we have no weekends. But yeah, also like adult parties. Like we do sometimes corporate events. We recently did like a fun one for like was it a dermatologist's office? It was their holiday party and they all did a bunch of ceramic stuff, which was really fun.
I mean, so it sounds like I know there's the ceramics part. There's like all
the ceramics is newer.
Varieties of art that people can partake in.
And sewing
too. Yeah,
we have sewing now.
And digital art. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how do you tell me how, like, from a business perspective, how do you manage to do all of that?
It's like most of these classes that we start are because we have an instructor that has that skill set. So pottery, we had a teacher that was a potter by profession.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'll help you do this. I'll help you build.
We also inherited a kiln, which also made a huge difference because we were like, hey, because it's very expensive to start a pottery studio. There's so much involved in it. But it's been an amazing program. Like it really brings in people who the art classes, like drawing makes people nervous. But I think like getting your hands dirty and making a pot, people have their ghost moment, right? They love it.
But most of the stuff, it really just kind of happens. Like it's nothing that we're actually seeking out. It just, even like finding a third partner, like that, it just sort of happened. She literally like came into our studio. Her daughter was taking classes and she was like, hey, do you guys like need help like doing some classes? And it just kind of went from there. So everything just kind of magically happens.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked us 15 years ago if we would be where we are now,
studio, sewing,
it's crazy. Yeah. And even just like being able to make it through COVID, honestly, that was crazy. A lot of businesses failed during that time. So
yeah, we were just talking about that. Like we almost were not going to keep Agoura, which was I was crushed. I was like, I don't think I can do it. But
it was hard because we'd only been open for 2 years. And so here we had so many years to like build our community, right? But there it was, we hadn't like gotten our footing yet when COVID happened, but we did like online Zoom classes, which we didn't think anybody was going to want, but they did. We even did Zoom birthday parties. Like it was crazy. And we
still had like our relationships with a lot of schools, and we were teaching online.
We also did like videos. We did videos for schools that we were sending out to them to do during their like Zoom curriculum with their kids. And so
it did really force people to be get creative. And you guys are obviously already creative people, but from a business perspective, how to, if you so desire, keep your business running in ways that
and to pivot.
Yeah.
Like that's, I think what we've learned is being able to pivot so quickly just through everything. Like, we need to move,
Right.
So,
which is a lot like the way just even art teaching is in general. Like even if you're just helping a kid, so they're going to have a problem you never anticipated. Do you know what I mean? Like they're going to be like, I made this weird mistake. And you're like, oh, wait, how do we figure this out now? And then you got to like, figure out how to make it work for them.
I mean, that is like the basis of being an artist, like we tell the kids all the time, like you make mistakes and you learn how to fix them. And that is what being an artist is. I spend most of my time fixing my mistakes.
You just never know because we're casual about it.
We don't freak out.
What this is a very specific question, but I'm curious because you mentioned the different the age groups of the courses, and the sort of studio classes start at the age 8, if I remember correctly. Is that an age in which kids really start to get it, or why that age?
Well, we used to start younger.
Which the difference between the younger kids classes and the older kids classes, just to give like a reference, the younger kids classes, it's like a group lesson. So it's like this week we're making an alligator. Last week we made a walrus, right? Next week we might make a landscape, different materials. So it's a group lesson. We do a step, they do a step, we do a step, they do a step.
And it's them like learning how to draw, learning how to create shapes, learning how to correct shapes.
Yeah.
And build their fine motor skills, build all their little muscles that they maybe never used before.
Yeah, and that's the same way we do our camps, our birthday parties. It's like a group lesson. Everybody's doing the same project. But then once they get to that 8-year-old age, now everybody's working on their own project. Like you can see behind us, like this person is working on this like oil painting of this like forest. We also have like another kid who's like, I'm looking at him over here, who's going to do like an acrylic of a dolphin. And so we're just walking around helping each kid individually. So it's really like where they can be a little more self-sufficient, where they're not scared if we give them a step and then we walk away to help somebody else.
Yeah.
You know,
and eventually, like there, it becomes such a habit of them, what they're looking for, of building simple shapes, looking at shading and values on something, working from the background to the foreground. Like all those things become habit, and then eventually, like they're doing it all on their own, and then we just like throw in harder and more challenging.
Yeah, and our teen classes are cool because honestly, we don't even do that much because these kids have been with us for so long that it's not even like teaching anymore. It's like mentoring, right? So like, you know, we'll walk around and be like, hey, that looks amazing, or hey, maybe work on that a little bit, or they'll be like, hey, I'm stuck on this one part, and then we help them. But a lot of it is us just sitting around and watching what they're accomplishing, which is it's really cool and really rewarding to see. Yeah.
That's amazing. And to hear that kids have sort of been with you throughout their childhoods.
Yeah. We have students who've been with us for like 10, 12 years. They come back and visit from their college breaks and stuff. So it's really cool.
Okay. So you mentioned you would have never imagined the business to be what it is right now, just in terms of offering. Is it what you imagined it would be just overall, like by owning a business? I mean, it sounds like you.
I don't think we knew. I don't know. I don't even think I thought about it.
She was like, I don't want to own a business.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Out of everybody in my family, like I said, they're all like, you know, accountants, engineers. So the fact that I'm the business owner is like so weird, right? Like it's just not.
I hated working for people.
Me too. I'm actually like, well, I mean, I got fired. That's like the only, other than being a teacher at a school, I'm like, I've been my own boss for so long. I don't even know if I could work for somebody at this point. That seems very weird.
Yeah, I can imagine. But it's interesting that wasn't like the goal to set out, but then to be running a business for 15 years, 2 locations, you know, navigated a pandemic is pretty incredible.
We still always think we are flying by the seat of our pants.
Oh, we're just like, I feel like we are a mess all the time, which people come in and they're like, wow, you guys are so on top and so organized. And I'm just like, don't look behind the curtain, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's funny. Well, speaking of that, what has been the most challenging of running the business? The challenging part?
Oh, man. I think learning things that, like marketing, has been really hard. It's still hard all the time, and I feel like I'm not good at it. And
and we're lucky because we're a business where, for the most part, like word of mouth is our marketing. Do you know what I mean? Like we just are in like the mom circuit, right? And moms tell other moms, and families tell families,
and at schools, like this our marketing.
Birthday parties are huge. People come, they're like, I didn't even know you were here, and then they do their birthday party. They start classes, but like the times when we're like, hey, we need a boost. Yeah, we're still figuring that part out. Yeah, I think the business part of the business is the hard part, because the art part, we could do that with our eyes closed and our hands tied behind our backs. You know what I mean? Like that comes easy. It's the actual business part that is like, it's tricky.
Have you been able to bring in resources to help with the business part, or how have you navigated that?
Honestly, not that much. Not that much. I mean, maybe here and there, maybe a little
bit. Like sometimes, I don't know, we're just not the typical business. And so a lot of people have these ideas where we're like, that just doesn't work for us.
I mean, I will say we did at some point get like a scheduling software where people now, when they enroll on our website, that was huge for us. Because we literally were doing everything by hand. Everything was on an Excel spreadsheet. And now it's like so much more automated, right? Where it takes that kind of stuff out of our hands. So I would say that was really huge for us.
Like the whole registration system, we use Sawyer, and it's been great.
It's been amazing. Yeah. Also, just recently we started this just for our employees. We have like a scheduling software for our employees because, again, Excel spreadsheet for our whole like who's in which class on which day. And so now we finally have it where they have just an app on their phone and they can clock in and clock out, and we're still navigating that.
So those things have like made big difference. And you know, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but then it helps us so much in the long run.
Well, and I love that it's just even fun to like hear how excited you guys are about like those simple platforms.
Oh my gosh, and it's like life changing, right? Like we're sitting there all day, like ooh, like doing like just like such dumb like menial work where it's like we want to be doing the fun
teaching.
stuff.
Yeah, we want to be teaching. We don't want to be stuck behind the computer.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I like doing the website. Like the website is kind of fun sometimes, but also sometimes it's a pain. You know, it's like because we do all that stuff.
We
like,
did like literally everything. Website.
Yeah, it's a lot better than it used to be. Our website at the beginning was. So
yeah, no, I mean it's amazing, and I think I was just speaking with another business owner who just said like her advice is just do it, and it kind of sounds like that's what you all did, right? Is that you just did it, you saw a vision, you did it, and I think people overthink the idea that you don't have a business background, you wouldn't know how to do this, and that like then therefore the business can't be successful. But it sounds like that hasn't stopped you.
Yeah. That's very much Maria. I mean, she is very much like I want to do it, let's do it. And
I just jump in. She likes
I am much more like let's hang on, let's like not bite off more than we can chew. Let's make sure things are good before we add more. And she's like, come on, so it's a good
it's a good balance.
It is a good balance. And I think Vanessa's probably somewhere in between us in that.
She is. I think she's right in the middle of us both.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm like, if I have an idea, I am on it. Like I am already
she
like
literally. I'm just like
rolling the ball.
Sometimes I'm like, what is wrong with her? Like it's amazing. I wish we all had a little bit more of that. But how is she? Like it's kind of impressive sometimes. And I'm always like, I need a break. Like we just did a lot today.
But so fortuitous that I feel like it's rare to find such compliments in business partners. So the fact that you have that and can sort of see and be aware of each other's strengths must really help.
Yeah, for sure. I think we do like complete a lot of each other's like, strengths and weaknesses. I think I think we have a lot of the same strengths, but also I think like it helps to have that balance because I always say like if we had two of her, it was like we would just be like it would be like and if it was two of me, we would just sit around thinking all day and nothing would ever happen, So
Do you have any classes for your older students about like the business of art? Is that part of anything that you would teach them, knowing that like some of them?
Yes and no. I mean,
we have a class called Art Entrepreneurs.
We do not teach this class.
We don't.
This is one of our employees who teaches this.
Who's amazing. Miss Shelley is just the best.
Yeah.
And so she's an artist and
she has her own
sells
Etsy
on
shop.
Etsy, and she has been doing this forever, and so she started a class a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's so cute.
It's age 8 and up, 8 to like 14, and they literally learn how to create products to sell.
Yeah, they start their own little art business, and it's so adorable. They come up with a name, they come up with a logo, they come up with products. Like it's
so awesome.
Just adorable. Like I wish, like why didn't we have that when we were kids?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like a lot of these kind of like, especially with creative pursuits, it's amazing to do them, but if you don't know how to monetize, I mean, it is hard to make a business from it.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
There's only so many probably art studios that can be around, maybe not, but like the ways to like monetize it and expand that and continue passing it on. I love that that's an offering.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, that was her idea. We would have never thought to do that, right? That was amazing. We were like, okay, let's do it. Let's try it out. And it's been really successful. So
great. What are you all proud of with the business?
Oh my God. I mean, everything. I think I'm proud of us like all the time, every day.
Yeah. And our students, like, it's just like, especially when they're like working so hard, trying to get into like an art school for college and like working
write a lot of recommendations.
And then they do it and they're off to college.
Yeah.
And
also, every year we enter the Jean Autry art contest. They do this like huge art contest where they display a bunch of artwork in the museum. And so it's for junior high and high school students. It's like mostly teenagers. And we always get our students to join that. And we've had a lot of winners. We've had
like walking away with like the
grand prize
multiple times.
Yeah. And the truth is, even just being in the museum show in the first place, because not everybody gets chosen, that's a prize within itself. Like I think it's really cool to see their families come see them succeeding. And because again, not all families are supportive of art careers, and for them to see that like, hey, this is like really something you can build upon.
So that's just like a really good like annual display of like what our students do. And
it's really fun. Yeah. And I'm just proud of us that we made it this far.
Yeah.
We haven't killed each other yet. So, that's a good sign.
Have you seen an evolution since both of you have and are currently working in schools around art in terms of the way that schools locally, whether in the Valley or the Conejo Valley, approach art? And over the past 15 years, has it evolved?
I don't know. It's
That's
so
hard to say because we're kind of doing our own thing. Like we don't see a lot of what other people do. I will say I have heard more in terms of people having good art teachers that they like and they respect. Like I had a lot of really terrible art teachers who were mean and they didn't teach you, but they criticized you. And hopefully we're moving away from that because I don't even know why people would get into that job if that's what they're planning on doing, So hopefully there's more of just like an openness toward art, I think like realizing it truly is a skill, right? That you can teach and you can learn. It's not just something you're born with. I think that used to be the philosophy is
that it's just craft or you're like you're just
or you can do it or
crafty,
you can't. You can never learn,
or
like
you're naturally talented or not. And it's not. Like I always tell the kids, if I went out there and played soccer every day, I would probably be okay at soccer. I'd be getting better every day.
I don't know
It's
about
it's the same with art. Like if you are practicing these skills over and over,
or like
you
piano
learn
or
them.
ballet, like you have to learn the steps, you have to learn the notes to be able to do it, right? And I think people don't think of art that way
At all.
And hopefully maybe they're starting to, know.
But there is still parents that are like, well, why can't they just do whatever they want? And we're like, they can do that at home.
Yeah, why do they need us for that? Go to Michael's, get some supplies, let them go wild,
But they're like, it's their skills that they need to learn if they want to pursue art. And I think that's where we mostly have kids that are very interested in art. And so
because they want to get better. And it's like, how do you get better if there's nobody showing you how to do that,
Yeah. Wow, that's so fun. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. It's exciting. Your excitement for it just makes me excited. And I have a son who loves to draw. And I always take the approach of like, well, he's doing it. He like understands it how he does it. But and so maybe I'm one of those parents. I'm like, well, why do they need to learn? But I imagine there is an unlock that happens when you have an expert just pushing you or sort of giving you those extra education. So
I think both of us too, we were always like, when we look back at stuff that we did when we were kids, we were like, how did our parents not realize how amazing we were, right?
And it's I do that all the time. I'm like, Mom, did you not think I was amazing?
I know.
So good.
My mom was like, I thought the teachers just said that to everybody. I thought they were just trying to get you to come back to class. And I was like, Mom, are you serious? Like this was something real, So
I know it is interesting. We just went. I took the kids to the Broad in LA over the weekend, and there was a Keith Haring book, and it's called like Just Keep Drawing. And I was like trying to tell it to my son, I'm like, just keep. You're like, you've got something else. Maybe a different kind of artist, but it's like, I really trying to. I feel like the creative. It's so interesting when you're a kid. You're like I said, you're exposed to all the creative things, but it's not as encouraged to pursue it. And if anything, just to have it as a hobby is a wonderful thing throughout your life.
It's such a stress reliever. It is like, it's just your mental state when you're doing art is just, you can't think about everything else. You can't think about homework. You can't think about, your friends at school and what they were saying. Like, I always focused on drawing.
I always say it's the closest I can get to meditation because I am not a person who can quiet my mind. Like it's just going all the time, right? But I could sit there and paint and like 5 hours will pass and I'll be like, wow, like what even just happened,
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What is your vision for the business?
Oh my gosh.
We have so many ideas.
We have so many ideas. I think right now.
I mean, right now we love our space in Woodland Hills. We love our space in Agoura. We dream one day of having pottery in Agoura, like a full pottery studio. I don't know when or where that will happen, but we definitely would love that.
I also feel like I would love to feel like we're not flying by the seat of our pants. I would love the day where we feel like we're just like, we've got it all together. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Hey, we're just dreaming here.
But I mean, I think this studio, just both studios, I think are both like the ultimate, like what we
were dreaming of. I know we always like people are like, are you going to start a third one? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think just continuing to improve upon what we have is really, I don't know,
a dream, because we're in both studios and we're able to be in both studios and bounce back and forth. And so I think that's really important. I would want
being able to have our hands in everything and not like, just franchising and letting somebody else do it or, you know what I mean? Like, I think being able to have that personal touch, I think makes a big difference as well.
Yeah. So I think mostly like expanding to a couple more schools. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think probably just the schools.
Yeah.
That's the big next steps.
Yes.
It's just a few more schools.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. What I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you.
Uh-oh.
So if you had to choose, I'm curious your favorite art style. I just realized I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, sure.
Art style and artist.
Oh man, that's hard. I don't know if I could do artist. I could do style.
I don't have favorite artists, but I have like two people that I love right now, but they're not like, traditional master artists. So Becca Worley is this artist who her stuff is just so bright and vibrant and just funky. And it's so opposite of my style. I'm like landscapes and nature.
Yeah, pretty
And so I'm super inspired by her. And Melissa Lackey is like another one who does like a lot of very whimsical folk art looking stuff, but very bright colors, and so it's the things that I don't do.
I think that ends up happening a lot where we like things that, that's hard for me. I really like surrealism. Like I really like things that look really real, but also don't make sense. Something that looks like it could be true, but isn't. So going back to like, super famous old-timey artists like Salvador Dali or like Rene Magritte, I think are really cool and inspiring, just like going back a ways. There's also this artist who I think he's out of Hawaii. Maybe that could be wrong. His name is Vladimir Kush, and he does a bunch of stuff like that. And some of it's a little, and I don't want to put him down because I actually love his stuff. Some of it's a little cheesy, but I also just think it's really impressive and beautiful. And I don't know, it just kind of speaks to me in a certain way. So, yeah.
Is there a tip maybe if somebody is thinking about taking art classes, I guess more for kids, but also adults, like something or trying to dip their toe into that creative field? What do you recommend?
Drawing.
Yeah.
Drawing from still life. Like
also just looking at things, like the more you are looking at things to be able, because I think a lot of people, they start drawing and they're just like looking at their drawing and trying to figure out how to make it better. But it's hard to know how to make it better if you're not like actually looking at the world to see what things really look like. I think that is important too. Just observing, noticing details.
Yeah, I think it's as much as looking as it is your hand.
Yeah. Also just playing around, like just buying new materials. I love just buying new materials that I've never tried and just going for it and seeing how these materials work differently than other materials. I think that's super fun.
What's your, do you have a favorite thing to do out here in the Conejo Valley? In the Agoura area? Agoura
area. Come to Viridian Art, obviously.
Soleil Soups is one of our favorite things.
We do love Soleil Soups. We're there every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
We're friends with
we're always
people there.
like, soup day, soup day.
What else?
And I mean, just it's so beautiful. Ladyface Mountain is so beautiful.
Yeah. Also, just in our shopping center,
the
Wizen Center, like we love Plata, we love Basta, and again, it's because we can walk to them after work, which is amazing. But we also love them, so that's
the
great.
antique market is just awesome. The whole shopping center is just fantastic.
Yeah,
it is such a special shopping center, and it is like having a space like yours within it just really feels like it rounds it out. The restaurants are great, the stores are great, but having an amazing space like yours just feels like very appropriate. So I'm excited that you guys are there. Okay, one last question that each of you can answer, please. What advice would you give to a first-time entrepreneur?
Just
don't be scared.
Yeah, like the worst that can happen is you fail and then you try it again. Try a different way. Like we have tried things that don't work, and then
for sure
try something else. So
I think being like discouraged by setbacks, maybe just like sticking with it, and believing in yourself, which I know is cheesy, but it's true. Believing in the product you have to offer.
Yeah.
Amazing. Great advice. Thank you both so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Congratulations, 15 years.
Thank you. We're very excited.
It was really amazing, and helping, impact lives at any age and bringing a little creative passion to them is really awesome. And just to hear your passion for it makes me so excited. So thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you. This was so great.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Conejo Valley Visionaries. If you like today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And don't forget to rate and review us. That's the best way to support the podcast. To enter our giveaways, learn about local events, and to find out more about each guest, follow at Conejo Valley Visionaries on Instagram. If you want to share your visionary story on the podcast, send us an email. We are always open to guest nominations. Email ConejoValleyVisionaries@gmail.com. This episode was produced by Cristina Dennstedt and Justin K. Sloan. Conejo Valley Visionaries is edited by Justin K. Sloan and J.Sloan Productions.